You're watching Trading Day on BNN Bloomberg. I'm Amber Kanwar. We are tracking shares of B2 Gold trading up after earnings and sales came in higher than expected. But the gold miner also warned that its project in Nunavut was behind schedule, with first gold production there now expected to be in the second quarter of next year. Generally, we have seen shares of B2 Gold underperform the move higher in gold prices, partly in concern that while the growth in Nunavut is for the future, half of their production currently comes from Mali, an area where investors have recently become a little bit cautious on reports that the military junta in Mali is looking to increase their grip on the mining sector. To discuss this, let's bring in Clive Johnson. He's president and CEO of B2 Gold. Clive, thank you so much for joining me. Let's take some of these issues maybe one at a time. Let's start with Nunavut and the production delays there. What's behind that?
Sure. Thanks for having me. The Goose project is doing very well, actually, in terms of construction. We are on schedule, and the plan was to have the mill built to start processing gold by the end of the first quarter of next year. The slight delay of 3 months to first gold pour, now expected in the second quarter, is really due to the fact that we will not have the ore available in the first quarter to fill the mill because of delays in open pit mining and underground mining, which are underway now. And frankly, the big delay there was because of some very poor quality used mining equipment that was ordered by the previous project owner that we had to frankly junk and bring in additional equipment. Our own construction team is building the mine. We expect to be materially on budget, and it's going great. The ice road we just completed, which is a major risk in a project like this. We built 160 kilometers of ice roads to bring everything in from Bathurst Inlet to the site. You can see some of the photographs on the screen. This is a major construction project by our in-house construction team, and they're doing an excellent job. The ice road was a big de-risking of the project. We spent $900 million or committed $900 million of the construction cost. So we de-risked the project to a very large extent. We're excited about it. Great project, great relations with the local Nunavut government and the Inuit people. It's going to be a great project, and it'll produce about 300,000 ounces a year or more starting in the middle of 2025.
You highlight, we were taking a look at it from those visuals. There must be a tremendous amount of logistical challenges, and I imagine, kind of a short window of when you can actually do the bulk of your work. What does that look like?
Well, you're absolutely right. And this is something this is where experience really factors in. Some of our construction team were involved with our predecessor company, Bema Gold, building 470 kilometers of ice roads in northern Russia. So we know logistics well. There's a very short window of a few months to get everything on the ice road. So you really have to nail that. And we did an excellent job of getting everything on site to complete construction. But that's, I think, the experience factor. And that's where, when you look at what we're doing with our in-house construction team and our logistics team, this is right in our wheelhouse. The Goose mine will be a great B2 Gold project, and we get to bring all our experience to bear.
From Nunavut to Mali, I imagine there's a lot of different expertise that are required in those two different areas. But I would love to get you just on the record, to the best of your ability, separate fact from fiction on what exactly is going on in Mali. There have been multiple reports that the military junta there, that is controlled in part by Russia, that they are seeking to increase their grip on assets in Mali, of which you have assets, Barrick Gold has assets. Can you tell us what's happening on the ground?
Well, first of all, I would dispute the idea that the government is somehow controlled by Russia. Not the case at all. At the end of the day, the government that is currently in place is bringing in a new mining code shortly, the 2023 mining code. And the government is looking for a larger percentage of government ownership and some higher taxes in the 2023 code. But it's very important to realize that we are grandfathered under the 2012 Mining Code and Mining Convention that we signed with the government of Mali. The government has confirmed that Fekola is governed by that 2012 code. So we see Fekola has been an excellent success story for ourselves and the government and the people of Mali, and we see that continuing. The issue for us, we want to expand, and the government wants to see us expand because we have the potential to truck ore from 20 kilometers north of Fekola just load it in trucks, bring it down the road, and put it into the mill at Fekola, which can increase gold production in the near term by 100,000 ounces. That's something that we're ready to go. The roads are built. All we need is an implementation permit from the exploitation permit from the government to allow us to start trucking ore. So that's a win for the government, the people of Mali, and a win for ourselves. And that project looks like it has some pretty strong economics. So the government relations remain good for B2Gold, but every company has different challenges in Mali. So it's very important to look at the different companies and the different issues that they may have in terms of their way forward and which convention they're under. So it's a bit complicated. At the end of the day, the people in the government of Mali want gold mining. It's a critical part of their economy. We've been a very good partner, which they acknowledge, as others have been. And we definitely see our continued success at Fekola, and we're going to expand the operations, and hopefully we'll have word on that in the next few months.
It sounds like you just need that one permit, and then things will be pretty much smooth sailing from there. What does getting that permit hinge on? Have you met all the criteria that's necessary? Are there still more discussions that need to take place? Just shed some light on that particular process.
Yeah, I expect in the next month we're going to be having more conversation with the government to finalize the way forward. There's really the exploitation license. The government has indicated they want to fast track that. They want us to get going as we do. So hopefully we can see that very shortly and get on with trucking ore and increasing production at Fekola.
It sounds like you're very confident that you're going to get that permit. Is that kind of the indication you're receiving from the conversations you're having?
Definitely. I think it's in mutual interest of the company and our shareholders and the government and the people of Mali. They need revenue, clearly, and the fastest source of revenue for gold mining in the country would be by us trucking ore to the Fekola mill. So we're on the same page as my expectation.
I mentioned, if you look at how B2Gold has performed relative to gold prices, gold has rallied, but the stock has lagged. I wonder if this could be a material kind of clearing of an obstacle for shareholders that might be a little bit more nervous despite your confidence.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think there's been some irresponsible journalism and social media perhaps in talking about some of the rumors that the government is going to take over gold mines and give them to the Russians. That's garbage. Absolutely no truth to that. The government's confirmed that. They have no interest in taking over gold mines from us or anybody else. Definitely it's affected the stock. But I think we're in a transitional point here now, not just because of getting what we expect to get the permit to go forward in trucking ore, but also because Goose now, we've come out and de-risked the project. I think the investor nervousness, I understand it, but you have to remember who's doing this when you talk about construction at Goose. This is what we do. We do it very well. And you're going to see a great construction and you're going to see a great mine. So this is a transitional year for B2Gold. Production's a bit lower, costs are a little bit higher because of significant capital expenditures this year, including Goose. But we're in a very strong financial position. And looking forward, not only do we have growth from Fekola trucking ore, we have growth with the Goose project coming on, and the Gramalote project in Colombia is looking very interesting. We're going to have a study out there soon, which we think might be another economic opportunity for B2Gold as well. So if you look at our growth profile from existing assets, it's very strong. And 2025 will be a year where we get back to higher gold production and lower costs. So we think the future looks very bright for B2Gold. And yes, the shares have underperformed. I think that's going to change.